All right, everyone. Welcome to the 100th episode of the 20 podcast. Give it up, everybody. Give it up. Yes. You guys, it's a milestone, okay? I dressed up for this. I got a suit on. I might have shorts on. You don't know underneath, but I got a suit on top. I got a bottle of champagne. We are ready to pop shit off. The 100th episode of the 20 podcast, brought to you by Beatsource, hosted by yours truly, DJ Spider.
DJ Spider!
That is right. And that drop right there will give you a hint to who our special guest of the day might be on this show today. So you guys, as I said, this podcast is brought to you by Beatsource. Make sure you get on beatsource.com and check out Beatsource Link, the ability to DJ from the cloud, all of our customized playlists, and so much amazing stuff. And use the code THE20, THE20, for 60 days free. But hey, I am here to celebrate with you guys 100 episodes. 100 amazing DJs, producers, music industry professionals have all passed through this show, virtually and in person. I am so proud, so happy. It's just been unbelievable. So thank you to the team of Beatsource. Thank you to everyone that believed in me and everyone that helps me with the show. We couldn't do this without Vlats. We couldn't do this without Anthony. It's a team effort here, guys. I may be the face, but I got a lot of help. So and a lot of the help is from you guys, the beat sorcerers, the listeners, everybody out there. Thank you for supporting, and make sure you rate and review on the Apple Podcasts app to make us go up the charts and keep growing. And let's do 100 more episodes, 200, 1,000. Let's get up there, okay? And hit me on Instagram at DJ Spider, DJ SPIDER. Send me a DM, like one of my pictures, do whatever you want to do, but find me on there, all right? And now, I'm not going to do too big of an intro for our guest, because actually our guest did an intro for us, and I will be cutting that in a second. But I go way back with this guest, and this guest is a very legendary person on the planet Earth, as well as within music, within DJing, within producing, within hip-hop, within music as a whole, within cultural sayings that are ingrained in our life all over the place, within songs you hear everywhere. Such an iconic, amazing guest, and someone that I have a long history with that we break down in this episode, all of the things that we've been through in our connections. So without further ado, I'm going to let our guest do the intro right here on the 100th episode of the 20 podcast. Let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally welcome you to the 100th episode. Yes, 100th episode of the 20 podcast with DJ Spider, Beatsource representative. Yeah!
Oh, God, that was incredible.
Let's get into it.
Today's a special show. Obviously, I dressed up. I put on a jacket. I put on a shirt. I got a bottle of champagne. Okay, you didn't get the memo. It's okay because I'm like the Conan O'Brien or the Jimmy Fallon. I can dress up. You can wear. You got to be yourself. It's the 100th episode. So we just hit it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go.
There we go. There's the crowd. And but the real congratulations needs to be for you, Lil Jon, coming on the show. Welcome.
Finally got it to happen.
Finally happened. We've been asking since show 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Since quarantine.
Yeah, since quarantine. We've talked a lot. We've had many conversations over quarantine, but they have not been recorded.
I mean, I got to let the people know, if it wasn't for you, I might not have been on Twitch, because I saw you on there and then, talk to you and Derek, and you guys kind of showed me how to get into it. And then me and Derek connected, and we were on this long journey for over a year.
Exactly.
Blat out.
That's right. Thank you, Snoop. Blat out. Yo. We right. Like I saw this Twitch thing in the very beginning of quarantine. And I saw people doing the Instagram thing, and
Right.
and our mutual friend Derek, aka Urban Medium, out in Atlanta, was like, "Yo, you seen this shit, Yellow Duck? You can broadcast onto Instagram."
Right.
And he's an amazing artist, and he created me this dope outline. He's like, "Look at this, we could do this, we could do that." And then we're looking into Twitch, and I remember I did a couple streams, and you hit me up like, "How the fuck are you doing that?"
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
I was
I think I was just watching everybody else and sitting back and figuring out what I wanted to do. So I hadn't gotten into it yet, but I was like, okay, D-Nice is doing this thing. All of these DJs is going up and doing their thing, and people are hitting me like, "When you going to go up and DJ?" And I'm like, I'm just going to sit back and watch and wait and figure out what I want to do, so I'm not doing exactly what everybody else is doing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I remember you saying that when we talked, like you were like, nobody's doing the down south music. No one's doing just club stuff, hip hop. Everybody's doing these chill vibes or whatever they want, sample things and stuff in their room. And even reggae, like you did that crazy dance hall set that when we were still streaming on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
that was crazy.
Because
Beanie Man came through that night, and like Jamaica was in the building for real, like that day. So that's what was really crazy. And I mean, it's really crazy to think back what we just came out of. You know what I mean?
It really is.
We were all in the house. All of us DJs were forced to learn new technology that we didn't necessarily know. We got to play music that we don't normally play on the internet, and we had some fun. You know what I mean? So it was great.
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, definitely some like silver lining came out of it. It was fun. We got to get to know a bunch of other DJs too, and kind of connect with everybody. And even like you threw your birthday and had artistic and like all types of Four Color Zach, brought everyone. That honestly, that feels like 10 years ago. Somehow.
Yeah, for real. like I can't believe that was this year, right? I think that was this year.
That was January. Not even a year ago. Oh, that was this
January.
Year. Wow.
That was January. My birthday's January. So yeah. I mean, I think the other awesome thing about like Twitch is that it showed a lot of DJs they could make a lot of damn money by not even leaving their crib. Because I see a lot of DJs still on Twitch every day or every couple of days doing 3-4 sets a week and not even really in the club. They just on Twitch still. And they making a lot of money. With me, I know, I think you one of the questions that a lot of people have for me is, when are you going back up? And I don't think I'm going back up.
Okay,
Here's why.
You guys heard it here. Yeah, why? Why not? Because we did get a lot of questions. Yeah.
Here's why. Because I'm, in Vegas 3 weekends a month.
Right.
I get 1 weekend off a month. And also, I'm filming my HGTV show. Lil Jon wants to do what? So when I'm not in Vegas, I'm designing rooms of people's houses. I'm designing houses. So it's like, I need to rest. You know what I mean? So that week off is well needed, or I got to film. So by the time Saturday comes around, we usually don't film on a Saturday or a Sunday. Well, Saturday was when I was going up. So I'm resting if I'm home. So I'm just like, I don't really have time for it, But we in talks with Access Television, and we're going to be bringing back Dr. Lil Jon. We did a pilot episode, Dr. Lil Jon. That was well received, pretty funny. And it was great. Myself and Access TV, we're working out this as well. The deal is done, but we're figuring out what we're going to do, and we're going to bring back Dr. Lil Jon. So you will get some Lil Jon on the internet again, on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
People need that advice. I mean, I don't know if anyone didn't catch it. You went on and basically were like Dr. Phil, but you were Dr. Lil Jon, and it was way more abstract though. A lot of crazy sound effects. Yeah,
we wanted to make it really fun, like Eric Andre meets Dr. Phil, but
that was exactly what it was.
Yeah, but not as crazy as Eric Andre tearing up the set, but it's weird and fun and a lot of comedy, a lot of funny stuff and weird stuff we pull from the internet to show everybody. So it's a good, fun show, and it's coming back.
Yeah, it was like a combination of like a million different shows. You know, the Eric Andre thing, the like Jesus and Miro showing the clips, and then getting advice and people. You had a phone number where people were calling in, leaving crazy messages.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Okay, dope. So we'll be able to look out for Dr. Lil Jon. That deal is done. And then you mentioned something that I think some people may not expect, that you're building rooms in people's houses and you have a show on HGTV. I mean, I don't know if that was something on people's bingo card, but what's the deal with that?
It's pretty crazy. So I got into design because I had a flood in my house. We were in LA, and on the top floor of our house in the bathroom, a pipe burst, and it was running for a week. So the house got flooded. And we basically went through 2 bad contractors, and we decided, you know what? We gutted the house. We had gutted the house by the second contractor, and we decided, you know what? Let's make this home where we don't want to leave no more. Like I'm gonna be here forever, the rest of my life. So let's really upgrade it and make it fantastic. And I met this really cool designer. She had a show called Megadens. Her name is Anitra Mekadon, and so I reached out to her because I liked what she was doing on her show. And then we connected and we started, kind of designing my house along with Patty Collins, who was working with her at the time. He's a great carpenter, and he does all kind of everything, really. He's like a mad scientist. So all 3 of us, after we did my house, we were like, we did such a good job with this. Like, they were like, you could do this for real. Like, you're really good at design. I was like, really? Okay. So we put together a pilot, and we shot the pilot for a couple years, and HGTV picked up, and the show's called Lil Jon Wants to Do What. So I basically go meet families, and they tell me, like, what they want done to certain rooms of their house. Like, so the pilot episode, we did someone's basement. They had a really terrible, shitty basement that smelled like cat urine. And and we went in there and did some amazing things. I don't want to give too much of the show away, but that's basically what it is. Like, I'm doing, I could do any kind of room in someone's house. I don't even want to tell you any more episodes. But the first episode, we did a basement,
Amazing. Oh, I can't wait to see it. They need to bring you in and have you design like a DJ booth, like a crazy, the perfect booth of a club.
Definitely could do that. So the show is looking to air in spring. So we're right now in the middle of filming. I'm filming 5 episodes at once. So that's why another reason why I'm not going up on Saturday nights, because a lot of design and a lot of design takes a lot of thinking, a lot of going on the internet and looking at all kinds of different, homes and past homes from the 50s, 30s, 20s, all kind of architecture, all kind of landscaping, because we're doing all of that. I'm doing everything. Wow. So, it's a lot of research and a lot of...
Little do people think that Lil Jon is on Pinterest saving their making a mood board, but
definitely on Pinterest. I love Etsy a lot. I find some really cool stuff on Etsy. I like to go to secondhand stores and find antique furniture, and vintage stores and find vintage stuff. Like, all of that is really fun. I know where to get all the bargains.
This is exactly what my wife is doing right now. Like, my wife started an interior design business during the quarantine, and it started to blow up, and she's doing so much stuff. And Sunday morning, she's out. Like, I'm going to sleep at 5 a.m, and she's heading out to the Rose Bowl to find antique furniture.
I was gonna ask you if she knew about the Rose Bowl because they have one of those in Atlanta. It's like once a month, and it's all of these vendors from all over the place, and you can find everything. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to find some cool stuff for your home, and you live in California, it's once a month. You have to look it up. I don't know what it's called, but they have it at the Rose Bowl.
Damn, they're gonna get you on that. What was that show that used to be on Antique Roadshow? Or they were like, people would be like, "My grandpa gave me this piece of paper. I don't know what it's worth," and they're like, "This is worth $250,000."
Hey, I need to find some of that stuff, boy.
You might, you might. But yeah, that's I see my wife doing that shit all the time. I'm like, and the same thing. I want to make our house like the forever house. So
it's fun, bro. When you go, once you get going and you immerse yourself into that world. It's so much fun. Like, just think about how fun it was during quarantine, learning how to set all your cameras up, learning the cameras, learning the audio, learning all of this, learning how to basically you learn the new language, right? Yeah. So think of how fun that was learning and figuring out troubleshooting is also fun when you figure it. Like, I'm the type that's something I can't let it win. So I'm going to figure out, and that's actually. That leads into a story. I figured out some stuff with Roland with their Go mixer that they didn't even know, and they ended up using that technology to help Versus out because I connected Roland with Versus when Versus was still sending stuff to people's houses for them to do the stuff from home. So, but I figured out some technology because I think we might have called you and we're asking you, we were
on the phone. I remember because this is a lesson to all DJs out there and just anybody in any industry. But like you said, it was fun. We were on the phone for 2-3 hours some nights trying to figure out how OBS would work with the GoPro and with the roll and go and the mixer and how we could get all the different angles. And I think a lot of people and a lot of other people I talked to were like, fuck this. I can't deal with this shit. This isn't my life. This isn't what I want. Right. You made it happen. You probably could have just paid somebody or had someone come do some shit. I mean, no one wanted anyone in their house at the time, but still, like you were having fun. We were all having fun with it and just going, you could do this, you could do that, you know.
You lead right into something that a lot of people don't know is the way we were doing my show. Most people had somebody at their house working the other stuff unless they were just doing it themselves. Myself and Derek from Urban Medium, we figured it out. Well, it was me. I came up with why don't you virtually log onto my computer and work these scenes from your house, but on my computer? Because anytime we told somebody what we were doing, they were like, how the hell is that working?
I know.
And I just know I knew how to do it because TeamViewer, whenever you have a problem with, like, say, NPC or something like that, they would say, can you get on TeamViewer and let me work your computer and go on your computer and see what's wrong? So I used that and applied it to us where Derek was working the scenes in OBS from his house on my computer. And then we figured out even, we started to use Splash Top because it was quicker and it was less lag and blah, 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 blah. But that's what, necessity made us figure it out and make it work. But yeah, Derek, nobody was at my house but me. Derek was at his house working all the equipment and I went at my house doing my thing. So no, I know of no one else that was doing it like we were doing it. Because we even talked to, when we were first getting going, I remember talking to like Ellen's technical guys and asking them how are they doing the Ellen show from home. And we told them what we were doing. They were like, how are you doing that? That's not what we're doing, but I mean, if that works for you, keep going. So
that's hip hop. That's hip hop right there. That's just making shit happen. Right. Plugging it in, making some shit.
Plugging the headphones into the mic jack.
Exactly. Like utilizing equipment that the people who made the equipment don't even know that it could do that. Like Roland or something like that. Right. And the team viewer and like people, they never even envisioned it. It was like that's what hip hop's all about. Though is taking it and just reflipping it and the samplers and the sounds and. It all comes back full circle, and there's a reason why you, of all people, made that happen, I think, because you've been making shit happen, for over 30 years like that.
I got to figure it out. I can't let something get me. I got to figure it out. That's just my personality. So I like to have a challenge sometimes. You know what I mean? Right. Everything is always too easy.
Well, you also made it way more challenging, too, because I don't think a lot of people saw what Derek, Urban Medium's, the OBS side window looked like, because
Oh my
some people are
God.
like, oh man, I got so many scenes, I need to do this and this and this, and I'm like, you have no idea. Like
Right.
Derek showed me your scenes, there's hundreds if not thousands of clips and videos, and then you guys had it set up where if you were going to play a Ludacris song, he had all these different Ludacris videos he could click, or if you were like, yo, where the ladies at, or like shake your ass, or whatever it was, he had different clips to just bring up instantly right on there.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I really wanted my set to be extremely and truly unique, and I think that's what we accomplished, because I ran into people, you know, once we got back out of quarantine, that was like, yo, I watch you every Saturday night and all this, and I'm like, wow, because you know, you never think you're gonna meet the people who you're talking to in the chat or whatever in real life. And then you meet people and they appreciate what you were doing.
But yeah, so the streaming, I mean, you're not planning on going back on, but I still think we should, like, you know, give you props for what you did. Like, you played every single Saturday. I think you maybe missed one. You played every Saturday for at least a year straight, right? On Twitch and on every platform. Over a year.
Because I think we went up until March or April. Because I don't think I went back to Vegas till, well, I went and did, all right, so the person that got me out of the house first was Usher.
Yeah. Usher,
because
okay.
I had to get out of the house to go to LA to finish up doing the music for his Vegas residency. So myself, along with DJ Chronic, we put together Usher's music for his Vegas residency. So that was the first time I got my shot, and the next day I was supposed to get on the plane, but that shot kicked my ass. So I got on the plane the following day and went to Vegas and was out there for like, I don't know, 2 weeks working. I don't even remember how long we was working on it there, but working on the music. And then, you know, when we went to LA, I was also working with the Avila brothers, because they are basically the band for the show. Okay. And so we were all just, you know, add more stuff to what me and Chronic did, the basic stuff that me and Chronic did. So we was beefing that up to give it a live feel. But yeah, that first time I got out of the house was to go to LA to work on Usher's Las Vegas residency. So if you've seen the show and you like the show and you like the way the music flows in the show, that's your boy. Because one thing what I wanted to do going into it when Usher called me and we talked about it is, I hate when I go to shows and they do a song and they stop. Yeah. They do a song and they stop. They do a song and they stop and talk. And I wanted it to flow like a DJ, like a party. And I looked at it from the standpoint as a fan of Usher, what song would I want to hear after this song? Or what songs would be in the set? What's in the encore? If I was to remix, because I remixed some of the songs to give them a different feel because we're doing it live, how would I do that? Boom, 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 boom. So I took a lot of time to think about it and dive in. And even before I dived into the music, I watched everybody who's ever had a Las Vegas residency, from Britney Spears, to Elton John, Celine, Janet, every single J-Lo, Pitbull. I watched everybody's live show so I could get an understanding of what they did and now what we need to do. So it's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work. That's dope, though. That's crazy research. Like, was there any sort of one running theme that went through all of them that they all did that worked?
No, I would say I think a lot of people pattern after Britney because she had one of the most successful Vegas residencies ever. So people tried to kind of do like Britney, have a lot of dancers. Like Britney might have had 15 to 20 dancers. So it made her look better, even if her steps weren't. If she wasn't as good as a dancer as everybody else, she looked good because she had a surrounding cast. It was
just like a big show,
So, you know, I think that's just maybe one thing right there is just having a lot of dancers to make the artist look better, you know.
Right. And it's Vegas, and you just want everything just to be big and crazy. And you notice it with the nightclubs. They got cryo, they got this, they got lights, they got lasers, and the more shit, the better almost in Vegas.
Right, and that's one thing I would tell them. I'm like, bro, you gotta have this shit. Got to be crazy for the visuals because they can go to excess or they can go to Omnia. It's $1 million chandelier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they can see a crazy show at a nightclub. So we got to make sure we're on another level with these visuals.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. And yeah, like you were saying, you were inside the house, and you were in Georgia. I know people around you were going out and like, we don't care, COVID, schmovid. But you were like inside doing the streaming thing. You're like, I'm not coming out at all.
Nope.
So
people tried to get me to come out to shoot videos and do all kind of stuff. I'm like, nope, I'm not moving. I'm staying right here. I'm good. I'll do it on the Zoom or I do it from my little setup that we do Saturdays on, but nah, I'm not moving. But Usher got me out the house.
Right. And to go straight from in the house to Las Vegas is probably like shock to the system. That was the first place I went for my first out of the house gig too. And I was like, what's happening right now? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel or who to be scared of or not, with like COVID wise. Like
for me, it was just like we just picked right up where we left off. It wasn't weird to me at all. And
that's good.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about it, and they were like, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "It's just the same thing. It's just like I picked up where I left off." You know what I mean? Because I guess, I had been in the studio with Usher for all that time, and we didn't go nowhere. We were just basically in the studio working, and then I think came off of that, went back to Vegas. Vegas is raging, and it's like, all right, I got to start drinking again. Damn.
Your body's like, no.
Yeah, I would only drink on Saturdays for my set. And I did get shit-faced a couple times during that, a lot of times. But other than that, I wasn't drinking. You know what I mean? Like, how we drink on the road Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and blah, 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 blah. But so I didn't miss that or the airplanes at all. I didn't miss traveling at all.
I still don't miss the airplane. I've been back on planes going back and forth, Boston, this, that, New York, and I'm like, all right, this is not as fun with the mask and all that, I'll say.
I just get on and go to sleep. I have my sleep music. I got a big blanket I pull out of my bag. I'm comfortable. I knock right out. I'm good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, you just got to now I feel more normal. Like now I'm back in the zone. I'm like, all right, we're going show to show. What can I do? Everywhere is different too. And like you said, Vegas is insane right now. Like people want to party like, and for a DJ, it's amazing. I mean, what has it been like for you? You can just, are you able to just to play everything?
Well, I will say when I came back, the first gigs I did were not Vegas. I think Vegas was that weekend, but I was able to have some tune-up gigs. Okay. Because the thing, I'm sure a lot of DJs will say, if you were streaming a lot and then you went back to the club, you noticed you had to alter the way you DJ'd to get back to the club. Because we altered the way we were DJing at home because we were online. You can do it differently. You can play songs longer. You can do this or that. So I had 2 gigs in Texas that tuned me up, and then I had that Saturday in Vegas, and by Saturday I knew exactly what I need to do. But I mean, the people were raging. When I first came back out, they were raging like super hard. When I hit Vegas, they were raging extra hard. It was crazy to be back in Vegas in the sense of every week was crazy. It was something big going on every weekend for 5-6 months straight. And it just started to slow down. But we all think it's going to be another spike because Canada is open now. The UK is opening up. They're about to open up some other countries now to fly and come in. So we might get when we normally a slow season, we might get an uptick because all these other countries are opening back up.
That's true. And like for, a lot of people didn't make money during the pandemic, but a lot of people made a lot of money, on the other end of things.
I know some people that made a lot of money in the medical profession, and they just out.
Right. Medical.
Spending money like crazy.
Cryptocurrency people, like all kinds of people are coming out, and I think they're ready to like really spend money, so we'll see.
Spring next year into summer 22 is going to be insane because the whole damn world. I looked up the vaccination numbers. It's almost 4 billion people in the world vaccinated, and it's 12 billion people in the world. So
really,
yeah, it's 3 billion, almost 4 billion people are vaccinated in the entire world. So by spring, the number's going to grow, and more countries are, the COVID infection rates are going down everywhere.
Right.
So by spring, it's going to be back to normal damn near. It's going to be like, okay, they're going to be, think about the flu way back in the day before our time was deadly, and they learned to live with the flu. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to learn to live with COVID.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm just going to do my best. I live with common sense and then just live my life. We can't just sit inside all the time.
And we're human beings. We're going to adapt. We're going to develop immunity to it, or it's not going to be as deadly, or, so on and so forth. So it's just,
exactly.
And it's also just drink water, eat more greens, drink green juice, take ginger shot, boost your immune system, and you don't really have much to worry about because your body's strong. You fight it off.
I know. And all the conspiracy people that are like, I don't hear anybody talking about boosting your immune system. It's like, yes, that's common sense, obviously, but get the vaccine,
it's not.
Do it all. Well,
it's not common sense.
I guess you're right.
It's not. A lot of people are not used to taking certain supplements. Like, a lot of people don't know about echinacea, or
that's true.
Licorice root, or all these other roots that is natural things that abuse your immune system. And
ginger shots, and these mushrooms. There's crazy mushrooms for immunity, and
people don't really know. And on the news, all they was telling us was wash your hands. All they said,
that's true.
No one ever said boost your immune system. Get vitamin C in your system. Take echinacea. Nobody. All you heard on the news when COVID hit, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away, and wear a mask. Nothing about boosting your immune system.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. And then they're like, take the vaccine. But it's obviously you have to do all of it just to be safe. And then just live your life. Like you said, we're going to adapt. This is a real Dr. Lil Jon segment. You need to have Blue Shield insurance to listen to this part, because we're getting some real advice.
So I'm gonna give y'all another one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how to not get hangovers anymore. Now, everybody knows how much I drink, how many shots I take.
That's right.
I have a song called Shots, and a song called Drink, 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 and a song called Let's Get Fucked Up. So I know about fucking drinking. All right. What I started to see all these Dr. Sebi videos about 4 or 5 years ago. So I started to look at some of the Dr. Sebi videos, and I was like, I'm going to try this sea moss out. So after about 6 months of taking sea moss, I woke up one day like, why don't I have a hangover? And then I was like, let me look at what I've been doing. And I'm like, no, it can't be that. It's the sea moss. So I'm a person that lives by the sea moss. Sea moss every day, because it's 92 of 102 minerals your body needs to survive. So stuff that you wouldn't normally get from eating, even if you ate right, you're not going to get certain minerals, right? So the sea moss is replenishing these minerals in your body, and your body storing this shit. So when you do have a hangover, when you're drinking and you're dehydrated and you're, whatever the fuck, it helps to replenish your body and help you to repair. And it's also anti-inflammatory as well. So I don't get hangovers no more.
Shit. Okay. Well, I'm about to buy some. I'm gonna get some of that. You need to do a shots part 2 and then add that at the end, sea moss shot. You won't get hungover.
And I'm also involved with developing a anti-hangover remedy. Not a remedy, but an anti-hangover, something you take before you go out drinking. It's called Hang Cool. We're probably going to be coming out spring next year. You just pour it in your bottled water, drink it before you go out or when you get in, and it helps to replenish your body also of nutrients and minerals. It's it's electrolytes, all of that good stuff. So I'm involved with that. That'll be coming next year. So it's a lot of big things from Lil Jon coming next year.
There's a lot of big things.
You know the fucking vibes.
You know the fucking vibes? Sam, what's it called? Hang Cool?
Hang Cool. HANGCU.
Okay, Hang Cool. All right. I'm getting sea moss and I'm drinking Hang Cool when it comes out.
Yes, sir.
And we didn't even talk about that you're hosting Bachelor in Paradise, right? I saw you spraying champagne bottles all over people's face the other day or something.
No, I didn't spray no face. Yeah, so that was a really cool experience this year. I got to host Bachelor in Paradise for an episode, well, 2 episodes, I guess.
Yeah.
It was different, because I've been on The Bachelorette once, and I came and helped somebody out, this young lady named Becca. She was the Bachelorette that season. I came to help her out on a date, and they came to me with the opportunity to be one of the guest hosts for this season, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm down. So
that's amazing.
That was really, really fun, as well as I was doing the voiceovers for the show. I've never done a voiceover for a major television show, so that was awesome too. So
yeah,
I always wanted to do voiceovers for stuff, but hadn't gotten those phone calls, so that was really cool. So thank you, Bachelor
Right, you're
Nation.
perfect for that. Yeah, Bachelor Nation, that's amazing. Yeah, you're perfect for that. That's crazy. Wait, what did you? I have to admit, I didn't see the episode where you helped her out on the date. But what happened? What'd you do?
Well, basically, this guy was on the show, and he was using the young lady that I helped out. He was using her to stay on the show until his girlfriend back home eventually came on the show.
Oh shit.
So basically he had an ulterior motive, and he was, like I said, he was using her. Okay. And their plan got foiled, and everybody was like, yo, what the fuck? That's that's foul. Y'all need to leave. And so they ended up leaving the show, and when it came to the rose ceremony, they gave her a rose as a pass so she could continue on to the next, stay on the show. And so she was really crying because, that was some really hurtful shit to do to somebody, to use them like that. So I came in and I'm like, look, we're going to get all of that out. We're going to change the vibe and bring some positive in here, and let's spray this champagne to get rid of all that negative stuff and move on. And now new start. So
okay, I think that was the champagne clip I saw. Yeah, Lil Jon shit.
Yeah, Lil Jon shit.
Some Dr. Lil Jon. A lot of Dr. Lil Jon shit coming out. We need to get a Judge Lil Jon show where you are just judging shit. I think that would be pretty good.
I actually want to do a game show. I want to do a game show.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. I want to do a game show. Game show. Because I'm going to tell you also why I want to do a game show. It's fun, and I'm a great people person. But also, I asked Wayne Brady one day. I ran into Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
I was like, how is it doing Let's Make a Deal? And he was like, they just back the truck up to your house, man. I was like, really? I want to do game show. Yeah, they just back it up to your house. I guess
someone was telling me about Judge Judy that she films every single episode in this tiny piece of time in the year, and then spends the rest of the year on a yacht or whatever she wants to do. And they show the show 365 days a year. They show it. She films for a couple weeks, and then that's it. So I'm sure that's what he's talking. Same with Alex Trebek when he was around. I heard they would film the whole year in a small amount of time.
Yeah, the same thing with Jeff Foxworthy when he was doing his thing too. Same thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Steve Harvey knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean that would be great to just shoot for a month, and shoot 50. Just imagine how much money your boy Rob Dyrdek makes off ridiculousness. I think I've seen every episode 20 times.
And they're on 20. They're on 24 hours a day. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, sorry about that. People calling me I'm filming. Leave me alone.
You're like, I film 24 hours a day now.
Yeah, I'm TV is where I want to retire to. If I ever come off the road as a DJ, I want to be in the TV world because I love people, and it's just great to see the smile on people's faces when you help them out or you do something for them or whatever, and just connecting with different people, man, is great. So yeah, hopefully one day when I'm done with DJing and I'm just on TV every day.
I can see it. You're manifesting it. You're making it happen. I mean, right now you have, you're hosting Bachelor in Paradise. You got your HGTV show. You got Dr. Lil Jon. You've done so much. I mean, you were on Celebrity Apprentice and all those other things, and so I think you're
Celebrity
you're on your
Apprentice
way.
that's way back. That's a long time ago.
but still, people knew you from that, and then when Trump became president, they tried to bring it back. I think they're just like, wait, remember that?
Yeah,
You're like, I don't know if I want to remember.
Yeah, exactly. So, good.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so just one more thing to talk about the like streaming and the Vegas and all the different sets. The one more difference that I wanted to highlight too was that you were DJing for a super long time online, and we were doing these 3-4 more hour sets. And in Vegas and places, you have 90 minutes. You have 120
2
minutes,
hours,
basically.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 hours. But 2 hours feels short sometimes. Like, I'll DJ for 1 hour, and I'm like, that felt like 5 minutes. And then I DJ for another 15 minutes, and then like, you got 40 minutes left. And I'm like, I feel like I just started, So especially coming back from those long sets, like, isn't that a big difference to you?
When I first got back DJing, I had so much wind. It was ridiculous. Like, like I would do 4 hours some nights, you know what I mean? So now I got to do 2 hours, and it's like, damn, this it? Like, I can go another hour easy. Like, I need more time, but sometimes you just go over and have fun. But now I'm good with 2 hours again. I'm just, I'm good with just that 2 hours.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I had to do a few, and I went 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'll close the club down. But then the past 2 sets, I was in Vegas and Atlantic City. I'm like, all right, I'll just do the 2 and be good. Now I'm back used to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you just hit them. Just with every single big song, get on the mic, do all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
So what we didn't talk about was, I'm sure people want to know, when am I putting out more music? Yay!
We need to talk about that. That's a huge thing. And, it's all, when can we play it on Beatsource and DJ City and all that?
So,
yeah, let us know.
One really cool thing that happened is J. Cole's album this year. He came out where he sampled Put Your Hood Up. First song on the album. He's on tour right now. That's the first song you hear on tour when he comes out on stage.
Oh, wow.
And he hit me up when he was in Vegas. Like, actually, one day he hit me and we were playing phone tag. And then I had done a set in Vegas. It was like, and I think I was still awake. It was like 6 a.m. And he called me back, and we talked for like an hour just about everything, and was like, we need to get in the studio. And, that's amazing. Mutual admiration for each other's work and blah, blah, blah. And he called me when he was in Vegas, and I went in the studio with him, and we knocked out a song. And then we were talking about getting back in and getting some fresh Lil Jon beats from scratch with him in the studio, so I feel his energy and create off of his energy. So we're going to do that as well. So Lil Jon, J. Cole song coming, and hopefully much more. I actually talked to Steve Aoki recently, because I've been recording like a lot. Just when I did Bachelor in Paradise, I had to quarantine for 8 days before we could start shooting. Not because I had COVID, because they just require that, right?
Yeah.
So I just brought my setup, and I just recorded like 6 songs. So I got all of these songs I've been recording, and so I talked to Aoki, and we're going to probably put them all out through DMAC. So I got so many records. So
crazy.
Next year is going to be a bunch of Lil Jon, me and Chronic, J Sounds, me and Sac Noel. I got a record I did with Valentino Khan that's pretty crazy. Wookie.
Nice.
Looney Tunes, and just a bunch of other stuff. My man KD1 from the DR. We got some Dembow stuff coming. So I got a lot of music coming for 2022. So be on the lookout for all of that.
And it's all over the board, like genre-wise, right? Like you said, Dembow, some like EDM and
hip hop.
hip hop, pop. I mean, even that song you guys did, Sac Noel. I mean, him and Pitbull have that their song's going pop right now, right?
Yeah, it's doing really good for him. I mean, it's crazy. Pitt's been around all this time, and he got another record that's charted and moving up the charts really fast. So it's great. I'm so happy for him. He's on tour right now too, and he's doing it. So yeah, me and Sac Noel got some stuff we did together on Pitt's new album. So hopefully he uses it. Pitt. But shout out to Phenom too, because Phenom connected me and Sac, together recently, and that's when we did the Peppers remix, and then some of this new stuff that we got that's not released yet, and as well as Phenom. Phenom is just a dot connector because he connected me with Chronic way back too. So that's right. Yeah. Shout out to Phenom for just being the motherfucking man. And shit.
Phenom, we're giving you Phenom.
We giving your flowers to you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Phenom, you're the man. Nah, for real. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this podcast without him too. He hit me up like, yo, you like telling DJ stories and talking to people and people. We're starting this thing called Beatsource. Would you want to do a podcast? I'm like, you want me just to talk? All right. So like you said, I mean, he's just the ultimate dot connector and always I think he just loves the culture and he just loves making things happen. It always comes from the right place, and he likes getting DJs paid and he doesn't worry about like the status of somebody. He's putting DJs out on tour right now with Pitbull to open that have never done anything like that. It's like the biggest thing in their career. So shout out to Phenom.
Salute, brother.
Edwin. Salute, Edwin. Thank you. You're the man.
Not the government. You hit him with the government name, Edwin.
I mean, his Instagram, it says Edwin. It says Edwin DJ City. We're going to give out his address on the next episode. And then
and his social security number, all of that.
And then people will be trying to get record deals. And no, he's the man. He's putting all the dots together. And man, I can't wait to hear that. That's crazy. I did not know about the J. Cole stuff. And that's such a odd combination, but it's amazing. I feel like it's, and he's a producer too, right? So he knows about beats and he has his own vision. So you guys in the studio together, it would be so crazy just from the music and the lyrics and vocal standpoint.
And it's crazy because the session we just had, he was producing me. Like, it's hard for, like, I'm an artist producer, and like the only person that's really produced me well, and I sat back and shut up and did exactly what he said, was Rick Rubin. Like when I worked with Rick Rubin, I was just like, I'm gonna do it exactly like you said. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of what happened with J. Cole. He had in his mind a vision for the song. He wanted a certain way. He wanted me to sound a certain way, and it took us a second to get it. Not a second, but it took me a second to understand exactly what he was meaning. But then when I saw his vision, and I was like, okay. And I just kind of sat back and did it, kind of exactly how he wanted me to do it. So it's cool. It's cool to sit back and let other people take the reins. But sometimes people think they know what Lil Jon's supposed to sound like, and their Lil Jon ain't Lil Jon. You know what I mean? I kind of tell people like, let me do this. I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard you tell stories about how a lot of your songs were made, and a lot of the stories just come from real life. You're like, I heard someone chanting this, or I heard someone saying this, and I'm like, boom, we got to make this into a song. Like, Tell Me When to Go, and a lot of your first songs, right? Like even in the mid '90s, like it came from just you hearing somebody chanting something, right? So I think you have a thing where you're just very tapped into the culture, and you're able to show people whatever the culture you're a part of, whether you're doing an EDM song or a down south song or something, you're able to kind of peel back the curtain and like show them like the real part of things, right? I mean, I think that's why people get attracted to your music and why it's so classic and lasts kind of forever.
Yeah, I mean, a good producer, you have to be a good listener and you have to pay attention to what's going on, because something someone says could be a hook. That could be I mean, there's been plenty of times I'm in the studio, I'm like, that's the hook right there. Like when we were doing Damn, we were in the studio 2 days trying to get a hook for this song. The beat was done. And I think the second day we had a party. We called strippers in. We were in Stankonia Studios. We called strippers. We had a party in the studio. And then I think Bo Hagen was just like, you don't give a damn, we don't give a fuck. I was like, that's it right there. And they were like, huh? That's it. I'm like, trust me. Watch what I do when I do my part. So Bo Hagen laid the part. If you don't give a damn, and I'm like, don't start no shit. What? We like, oh my God, this is out of here. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So,
classic. Never gets old. It's that song.
That's why it's better to be like, for me as a producer, I like being in the studio. I don't like sending beats out. I like to be in the studio and then catch a vibe when I'm doing the beat, because the energy of that person comes, like the beats I did for E40 don't sound like the beats I did for anybody else. That was because his energy got onto me, and then that came out into the drums and into the beat. You know what I mean? So it's always better for me to go in the studio with somebody and create, because we come out with way better stuff.
Right. And then as a DJ, when you play it, it almost brings out that energy in the real world, you know, and people are like, Ghost Ride the Whip, Ghost Ride the Whip, just getting so into it. They can feel the energy that's like coming out of the recorded song. Yeah. And I mean, you know, Tell Me When to Go. I mean, that beat is just absolutely insane. You know,
I did that beat that beat was done in 10 minutes. Yeah, I was so inspired because one of 40's boys, it was the end of the night. I had packed my stuff up. I was getting ready to leave the studio. I packed my book bag up, and I was about to walk out, and somebody walked in. It was just like, tell me when they go. Tell me when they go. Tell me when they go. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, that's it. And they were like, what? I was like, what? I was like, hold on. I just did the beat in 10 minutes. And then 40 went in and laid to tell me when to go. And while he was laying that, I asked his boys in the studio, I was like, has anybody used that Run DMC Dumb Girls yet? Because y'all say dumb all the time. Yeah. And that's me paying attention and listening. Right. We've been in the studio a couple weeks working on his album. So I'm listening. They were like, nah, what the fuck is that? So I go on the internet, find Dumb Girls, Run DMC, sample it. So when 40 comes out, I'm like, watch this. We push play. The beat's going, tell me when it go. Tell me when it go. Dumb, 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 dumb. Them motherfuckers almost tore the studio apart. Yes. Tore it up. Because nobody had, they said the word, but nobody used it like that. Like it just sounded different, you know? So,
yeah, that's that sample, the grittiness of it, the dumb, dumb, dumb. It's just like, there's something just like so raw about it. That's so ill.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Man, and like, you know, I mean, we would be here probably all night if we went over every single song like you produced that's classic. But I was trying to think before we got on, like how many of your songs that I still play in my sets all the time. It's not like, oh, that one's played out, that's old. I mean, just from, I actually meant to type Lil Jon into my Serato before we got on to see how many songs would come up, probably like 9,000. Yeah. But I mean, just from like Turn Down for What, Blow the Whistle, Snap Your Fingers, B.I.B.I., like, you know, Usher, yeah.
Out of your mind.
God. Out of Your Mind, Freak a Leak, Lean Back remix. Like, I used to play that shit all the time. Right. Shots, Get Out of Your Mind, Turbulence. I mean, the Pitbull songs. I mean, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but there's so many that are just classic and that just stay in my set. And sometimes even will get pulled out and then put back. Like, you know, Usher, became almost like a wedding song. It became a song that we played everywhere at all times, no matter who was there anymore. It wasn't like when it first came out. So
yeah, I think me being a DJ before I was an artist and a producer is also why so many of my songs are DJ friendly, because
me too.
I'm kind of making them in the mentality of for DJs to play, you know. Right. That's why they got breaks in them and all of this, and like most of my records already got an intro. You don't even have to do an intro for it because it's got an intro already. You know what I mean? So like I just kind of create, and it's drum heavy, like it's beat driven. And I perfected my sound in the sense of making it bang in the club too. It's gotta sound like stupid big in the club too. So yeah, I think, you know, that's part of the reason why the record stays so long, and that's why DJs still playing, because they are DJ records. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was one of the first things you made, but a lot of people don't know you made that Capleton tour record with like the Slick Rick drums under it. And even that is something that DJs still play to this day. And that you probably made, what, 30 years ago or something, right?
Early 90s. Yeah, I didn't do the beats, but I produced the beat. Like, I was like, me and my boy Paul Lewis was like, okay, sample this, because we didn't even have a drum machine yet, but we were like Quincy Jones, you know, like, all right, let's take this part. I used to play that DJ Cool record in the club. I was like, we got to use this as a transition. Hold up, wait a minute, to go from Children's Story to Mona Lisa. So yeah, all of that, man, it's crazy, man, like to be doing music this long and to still be relevant, you know what I mean? And the TikToks now revitalizing all of the records. It's a TikTok going around right now. The first record I ever recorded as an artist was a song called Who You With. And now that's starting to become a big TikTok. It's like, that's 1996. That's the first song I ever did as an artist. And that's rare, too, as an artist, when your first song you ever record is a hit. Because that was a hit in Atlanta. And
that's nuts. That was literally the first song you ever made, and it became a hit song. So that is definitely rare. That actually was a good omen for the rest of your career to show what might happen.
Yes, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I thank all the DJs, and I'm just blessed to have, this longevity, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, so much. You've given the gift of classic music to like multiple generations of DJs. And like, we can still play the songs from the 90s, the songs from the mid 2000s. And I mean, the amount of just vinyl records I have of your stuff, and I used to always, I got to get doubles of it and come up with these mixes. I would mix like Get Low with Crazy in Love. It would do this weird break where like Crazy in Love would build up and I would have the chorus of Get Low, but I had to do it on vinyl. It was like a whole thing.
So we might as well tell the story of how we met. And
I think we should, yes.
Because I've told it many times.
Yeah, I gotta hear you. I want to hear your perspective and then my perspective, because I remember what I was thinking when they told me you were there. But yeah, like, so we met. You can tell the story.
So it was the first game in New Orleans in the Superdome after Katrina. Right. I knew Reggie Bush and some people that was down with Reggie Bush, and they invited me out to the game. So after the game, Reggie had a party. Spider was DJing the party. Now, mind you, this is in between. I'm fried as a producer. I was trying to make beats. I was fried. I couldn't. I think so many years of doing so much stuff and having my own label and having to produce for all of my artists and produce for myself and then produce for all of these other people. I was fried. I was burnt out. Boom. Right. So, and this is before I'm in Vegas. I'm not in Vegas yet. Yeah. So I'm in a transitional period, basically. So I go to the after party, Spider's DJing, and I'm like there, and I'm just chilling, and I'm like listening, and I'm like, man, this DJ is fucking killing it. And you kind of inspired me. I was like, I might need to start back DJing again. That's what I'm saying in my head. So I had my security go to Spider and get his number and stuff, and I don't know what the fuck I was gonna do, but I was just like, maybe he can help me get back DJing again or something. I don't know. So we got his number, boom, boom, boom. I remember I skipped to the next day because I don't even know if I came to the booth. Did I come to the booth and say hello?
No, you didn't. No, it was just your bodyguard or whoever it was. I forget. Yeah,
so I was in the airport and we were chilling, and then this nerdy dude walks up to me, so I'm thinking, and he's like, it's me. I'm the DJ from last night. I'm like, you the DJ? He's like, yeah, it's me. And from then on, we connected, and Spider, helped me to get my crates in order, get Serato, gave me a bunch of music, and we went on to even start DJing together. He used to come by the crib. We did mixtapes together. So that's my recollection of how it all started. And that got me back, ladies and gentlemen, into DJing. And then I started to see a future in the open format world of DJing.
Listen.
You know the fucking vibes.
That's amazing. Thank you. Well, yes, so from my part of it, that's the story basically. But I'm on stage and I'm DJing Reggie Bush's after party. It's the the first home game after Hurricane Katrina. We're at this club. It's New Orleans too, and I'm not used to like the time frame. So they're like, you're probably gonna go on around like 3 a.m. or some crazy late time. I'm sitting there just waiting to DJ like all night. And I get on and I start playing. They're like, a lot of people are here. I'm like, all right. And they're like, Lil Jon is up there, you know, up in the balcony area. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I play a lot of his shit in my set, and I had been doing this.
Snap Your Fingers mix, right? You did a Snap
so
Your
like
Fingers
I had
mix.
this mix where like I figured out if I had like, cause even it was so long ago, I was recording in vinyl. So I think I had recorded in the Snap Your Fingers vinyl, like acapella, instrumental. I had all the parts.
Wow.
And I remember I came up with a mix where I would play it, and then I would cut at the chorus into Khalees, I'm Bossy, because it kind of sounded the same with the beep, beep. Like there was something about it.
Somehow you had the acapella for Snap Your Fingers with the Bossy beat. I was like, how is he doing that? But you probably just had an acapella out, huh?
No. So what I did was the same thing we're talking about with teaching Roll and Go, that how to use their own stuff. I had like done some weird hack with Serato where I had to show them how this worked. They didn't even know. Like I said, I was recording in the vinyl. So I would record in the main song, the instrumental, and the acapella, and then I would chop it up like in what was like Cubase or SoundForge or whatever, some program I used at the time, and I would line them up on top of each other, chop it so it was exactly the same time, pop it in my Serato. And one day I loaded the acapella on accident on the same side as the song that was playing, and and you know, you do that, it sounds horrible if it's the wrong song, but all it did was sound like it just pulled the song out and made the acapella come in at the perfect exact time, because
that's what I heard.
Both songs were 3 minutes and 52 seconds and 46 milliseconds. You know, they were exactly the same. So in Serato, it fucked up and it kept it in the same place, but it just sounded like I was pulling the beat out. So I was like, oh, thought shit, you did. I'm going to use this in all my sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack it up in my Serato crate, and then I'm going to hit shift left on the same side and then have a beat on the right side and do it at the exact same time. Be like, boom. And then the beat will come in and it'll sound like, but I can do my own acapella outs at any time. Cause then if I'm in a club and I don't want to go to Khalees or something, then I just play the normal song. So that was my little trick.
I was racking my brain. Like, how is he doing that? That is crazy.
I know. I showed the people at Serato and they were like, what? We didn't even know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think me and Steve Wonder figured it out one day just on accident. But so I did that. I remember, okay, Lil Jon is either going to hate or love this mix that I'm going to do, because, you know, at the time it was very mashup heavy. We weren't playing like house music. It was like you played hip hop and you mixed in rock and like these other, you know, old school songs or some shit. And like Pour Some Sugar on Me, Def Leppard, and songs like that were like big and people like to sing along. Now, not so much. But I remember, okay, I do this mix where I play Snap Your Fingers, I cut it to the part, I play Khalees Bossy, and then I cut to Pour Some Sugar on Me, and the lead singer goes da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, hey! And then in Snap Your Fingers, you go, hey! Like this, and it sounds like the same hey in a way. And so I was like, I'm going to do the Khalees part. It kind of throws people off, but it's still hip hop and they're still dancing and it works, but it makes people like look a little bit like, what did he do? And then you hit him with the like really weird shit where I cut it out. I go to Pour Some Sugar on Me and people know the part. And then right when he goes, da-da-da, da-da-da, hey, you go, hey. And then I take your hey and I start going, hey, 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 like kind of back and forth, and I'm scratching, and just becomes this whole like, what the hell is this guy doing thing? And so I'm thinking you might be like, what the fuck? This is horrible. Why are you putting my shit over Def Leppard? I don't know. I don't know your personality. I also didn't know your background and like all the music. Like fast forward to us being at your house and you're teaching me about like Love Cats by The Cure and like all these 80s songs that I had never heard of. And I'm like, yo, how do you know this shit? But yeah, so I do that. I keep DJing, you know, I probably play some more of your shit, but then, yeah, your security comes down. He's like, yo, Jon really likes what you're doing. He wants your number. I'm like, oh shit, it worked. And so, that was it. And then I'm like, I'm never going to talk to this guy again, you know, whatever. Then I go to the airport. I'm so fucking hungover and tired and been up all night. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, he's sitting right there. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going over and saying hi. And I go over and your security stops me and he's like, yo, chill. What the fuck? And I'm like, no, I'm the guy from last night. Remember you got my number? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, no, you came over to me at the club and you got my number. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, come over. And then then the nerdy guy walked over and said, what up? And that's how I felt. I felt like I was the nerdiest dude coming over to say what up. I felt like an idiot, but I'm like, I gotta say what up to him. Like, and so then you were like, yo, I'm flying back to LA. I got a house there. You got to come by my house and show me the Serato shit. And we got to build. Like, I used to DJ and da-da-da. I'm like, that was crazy. So, like, walk away and, again, thought, I'll probably never talk to you again. But I think we exchanged maybe, like, T-Mobile BBM shit or something. I don't know. It was like sidekick time. Yeah. But, yeah. And then that was it. Got back to LA. I think you texted me, like, the next day. And you're like, yo, come over. And I'm like, oh, shit, he really means it. I came over, and I just remember how excited you were about DJing. And it, made me so excited. I love DJing, and I was excited about it. But you were that I just got turntables, and I'm a young kid type excited. And you were like, you could take acapella. You got the Red Hot Chili Peppers acapella. All this stuff. And I remember giving you all this music and showing you the crates, and then coming back to your house the second time, and you were so hyped on, like, I put this acapella over this, I mashed up this, I put this, I did this mix. And I'm like, wow, he is like really into this shit and like loves it and is passionate about it. And then we just got to talking about how, like, Fat Man Scoop does all this shit and his voice is known in the club, but like, you're so iconic already. We're already playing your records. Like, you could just come out and do this shit. And then I was telling you about how I'm DJing in Vegas and all these things, and I'm sure you could do it. And we put together, we were like, let's do these mixtapes, and we start doing Rock Box Volume 1.
We need to put those back out online, because them shits, ain't nobody doing, like, who play you? I don't know nobody else doing no shit like that. That shit was way before its time. Because those are really good mixtapes.
I know.
Really good shit.
Like, really good shit. And one was just all rock, and one was all 80s. And like I said, you were teaching me about all these 80s songs that I didn't even know about. And we would like trade off mixing or do 4 turntables. And then I said, look, I could probably get us booked, out on the road if we do it. Yep. And
Orange County was the first, right? Was it Orange County?
Oh, I forgot about that. I tried to write down all the shows we did, and I forgot about Orange County.
Yeah.
Yes.
Orange County. It was like Sutra, right?
Sutra, totally. Yep. Yes, you're right. Oh my God. Yeah. So we did that. That was the kickoff show, and I remember we wanted to do 4 turntables, but some places couldn't comprehend that, so we would just show up and there'd be some little shitty setup and a mic for you, and you're like, I'm a DJ too, like, I'm trying to DJ.
Right.
And but yeah, we did that. I'm pretty sure we did the opening first show of Tao Beach like a really long time ago. I remember being,
that was a famous Stars and Straps party. Was that it?
That's what it, I think so. And Jermaine Dupri was there. And I remember Jermaine Dupri had not been DJing yet. And he was like, kind of looking like, what are you guys doing? I think I need to do this too. Like, because I remember right after that, all of a sudden he was DJing.
We probably inspired him, because, I know him for forever. And he gave me my breaking in the music industry as a executive. So I'm sure that inspired him to DJ. I think he called me after that to be like, yo, what's your setup and how you doing and how you doing it and whatever.
Crazy. Yeah, I remember doing that. And then we went to the Midwest with Derek, Urban Medium, the same guy we're talking about that was running your show. And we went to Chicago, went to Detroit, had some crazy ass night in both places. Detroit especially ended up at like Coney Island hot dogs or some crazy shit. I don't know what was happening. And even one thing I forgot about, just remembered last night, was we went to Rosarito, Mexico, and had that really weird show.
That wasn't.
It was just me and you. I feel like we I don't know if we met in San Diego or what happened, but we went in a car from San Diego, drove down to Mexico, went in this really weird green room where they had all this alcohol, but nothing was like the right thing. And like, I remember we got out there, the setup was the worst setup ever. I had to DJ on some horrible shit. You're on the mic. All these people got in the biggest fight ever, like a circle of people just fighting. Like everyone had the same jacket on. They're punching each other in the face. And you're like, yo, chill, stop the music. Or I don't know what was happening. And then we got paid in cash. And I remember got in the car and the car wouldn't start. And the driver just kept being like, car won't start. And I'm like, are we about to get jacked like in Mexico with all this cash? And there's fools around the window, like smashing on the window. I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And then finally he like gets and does something and gets it started. We drive back to San Diego and there was a whole.
I don't even remember that at all.
You drank a lot. I remember at that show in Detroit, you drank like extra amounts at those two shows. Yeah. But we did that. I even found a video I forgot about too of us getting interviewed in Santa Barbara. And this video looks like it's from 100 years ago. But it's probably from like 10 years ago. But we went to Santa Barbara and DJ'd some like college event in like a ballroom or some shit. Like, wow. It was.
Well, that was the start. Like, that was the start. I thank you for inspiring me to like at that moment. I mean, at that time I wasn't inspired with music. So DJing inspired me, and DJing was my first passion anyway. So the DJing got me back going and inspired and loving music again and wanting to be in it. And now, I mean, 11 years in Vegas now. This is gonna be my 12th year next year in Vegas with DJ residency. So I wouldn't have done all of that if it wasn't for you inspiring me and bring me under your wing and showing me the ropes. So I thank you for all of that.
Shit, I'm tearing up. Thank you. That's huge. That's amazing. And honestly, I remember like I said, I remember you being so motivated and so into it, and you were inspiring me back. Not that I was out of the loop of DJing or wasn't into it, but your passion and how inspired you were, and someone of your stature, especially to me, like I didn't know you then, like you were so legendary to me because I had bought every record you made. I played all your records, your voice, watching Chappelle's show, just seeing him make fun of you, all of it. It's you like you have I mean, if we look back, go far in the future and we're going to look back at this, you have so many parts that you're ingrained in the culture with just sayings and the look of things and the sound of things and in so many different ways, you know what I mean? Even just from the turn down for what type things from way before that and Dave Chappelle making fun of and what, and I'm sure that gets annoying, but all that, all that shit. So like to be around you and see how inspired you were and then being inspired by me, I was like, this is just crazy. It like made me, way more inspired. And then also I remember specifically, it was right around that time, and we went to Winter Music Conference, and you were doing a bunch of shit, but there was one party that I forget the club, but we were in this underground small club with like a low ceiling.
Oh yeah, I DJ'd a bunch of old house music. I remember that night.
That night is burned into my brain. Like
I remember
DJ'd, it was crazy. You played old house music for a really long time. I mean, I don't know how long your set was, like 4 hours, 5. It was really long.
It wasn't that long.
It felt like it.
It was about an hour or two.
Okay, but, shit blurs together over time. But I was drinking too, and it was late in Miami. But yeah,
I remember that night too. That was a legendary night because a lot of people didn't know I knew house music like that.
Yes,
especially the OG house.
Yeah, and also with me working with you, everyone's like, "Oh, great! Like he's gonna DJ. Is that the same shit as all these celebrity DJs? So whack."
Yes.
I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like I would have to like explain to them your background first of all, but second of all, just how into it you were and how actually you were a dope DJ with amazing ideas that knew what was up. And I was like, your lawyer. Like I would just like constantly explain to people. So to have that night and have some people there to see, I was like, look at this. Like, this is some real DJ shit. And that night inspired me. I was like, I don't even know a lot of this. I need to learn about this stuff. And the way you were mixing it together and letting those long ass mixes. And it was incredible.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, thank you for inspiring me to get back in it, man. Like, I don't know what I would have done because like I said, I was fried from music, but that gave me like a new energy and gave me something new. And that was before the EDM explosion.
Right.
Vegas was still open format, but through doing the open format, you know, later on, Pitbull came in and got me in the EDM through like doing the songs with him. And then I met LMFAO the first time on a Pitbull video shoot. I think it was
wow.
I think it was Crazy's video shoot. That's the first time I met LMFAO. So, you know, all of these different things. And Miami Music Conference was the first time that I got with Aoki. Aoki, and Travis Barker did a set. Travis and Aoki had a set, but then I came and I met Aoki and he gave me the mic and I rocked the mic, and that night was legendary. And after that, me and Aoki was cool. So, you know, you never know when you meet someone how that's going to translate into future things. And, you know, me and Aoki having big records together with Turbulence and doing so many shows together. Like, so yeah, man, it's life is crazy. It's just crazy.
It's real crazy. Yeah, you just got to always kind of keep your eyes and ears open and be open to everything. And like you said, you never know who you're going to meet and where they're going to take you and what's going to happen. And I mean, 11, 12 years in Vegas, crazy. I remember when you started, it was at Encore, right? Was that the first one?
No, the first.
Oh, Hard Rock.
I was Hard Rock. Yep. I was started on, what was it? The Sunday thing they used to have, the big.
Body English?
No. I did the outdoor party. The first big pool party in Vegas.
Rehab.
Yeah.
Yep,
I started at Rehab. I think that was the first residency I had. I think I had one summer in Rehab, and I did Rehab, and I did the club inside of there as well. I don't think it was Body English. It was
it changed over. It was like Vanity or some
Yes,
some
name. Vanity. Yep.
Oh man, we've been in Vegas a long fucking time.
Yeah,
it's
brother.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Sir.
But I love to see you still rocking it out there. And like, you know, you're at Hakkasan pretty much, it looks like every week, and Jewel and all these spots. And now they're all under the same umbrella with Tao and Marquee and everything. So you're about to be at a bunch more clubs in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I actually have Marquee coming up. So it's going to be fun to do Marquee. I've known Noah and Jason and all those guys forever. Those were the first guys in Vegas that let me come in their club for free. Like when I first started going to Vegas. So, and I think I knew Noah from New York, from Marquee, New York. I used to go to Marquee. I think Marquee, and before Marquee had some other spots. So I used to frequent those spots. So come to Vegas and hang out with them, and used to get on the mic at Tao all the time before I had a residency and just rock. And so, yeah, everything is full circle now. So
it's crazy.
Amazing.
It is amazing. And it's just such a small world. Like all the people and the people you're naming, like there's so many just crazy connections between everybody. Yeah. And you know, the DJ world is like a small world. It's getting bigger. I mean, now with all the worldwide shit, but I mean, and like, what, you know, like I said, you're so educated on DJing. Like, what do you think is a dope DJ?
A DJ is someone that just doesn't play their set, because most DJs are confined to a set and they don't know how to. Basically, it's like this. A DJ might think they the shit at home, but they can't come to Vegas and rock, because you got to be a special type of DJ to know your crowds in Vegas and to know, okay, I need to play more of this commercial shit. I need to play more 90s hip hop because they don't know this shit. Or maybe I think I need to go a little bit more house. Like, true. Vegas is the hardest place in the world to DJ, and people think it's the easiest place in the world to DJ. So, because if you don't know your crowd, you're not gonna be able to rock. And if you can't change from your set that you have planned, you're not gonna be able to rock. So a DJ is someone that can switch it up on a dime and go where they didn't want to go and rock even harder. I mean, rock hard.
Right. That's true. And like, what do you think is the key to like longevity as a DJ and even staying inspired? Research.
To me, like, people think I'm just going out all the time when I'm not working. I'm actually listening to the DJs because I want to compare myself. I'm looking at the crowd. I'm looking, because when we go see a DJ goes to see other DJs, sometimes they play some shit you be like, oh shit, I took that out of my crate. I need to put that back in my crate. Yeah. Or I ain't playing that yet. I need to start playing that. Or shit, what song is that? oh fuck, they went crazy for that. So you can't be a good DJ if you don't. It's basically watching film. Like an athlete watches other motherfuckers film, so they know how to compete. So you got to watch the film, and you got to constantly make your own versions of songs and update your crates. Like I'm always trying to refine my crates. It's never perfect. Like it's always, you can always tighten your shit up. You know what I mean? So, I think that's what it is.
I think that's a perfect example. And like, how do you organize your crates? Like you're saying, like when you're tightening it up, that's always a big problem and a big conversation on this show is like everyone has their own method, but you want to be able to work fast and change gears fast and change lanes fast, like you're saying, and be able to adjust to the crowd. Like, do you have a specific way to adjust your shit? I mean, to organize your shit?
I got like a Vegas, like different clubs I play differently. I play at Jewel differently than I play at Hakkasan. I play at Hakkasan differently than I play at Wet Republic or wherever. And I try to make my Hakkasan is my big thing, right? So I don't play that same set anywhere else. Like, even if I went to another city, if I go to Miami, I'm going to adjust the set more for Miami. So, but I have all of these different crates I can jump to if like, okay, I might need to go a little bit older. Like, let me go in and play Coolio, you know, Gangsta Paradise and into Eminem, goddamn Mom Spaghetti. Like, I need to go commercial because these motherfuckers are older. Or I need to go younger because of this. Or I need to go more turn up because of this. Or I want to play more trap shit. I got different crates with different shit all close to each other, so I want to switch it up. Or if I'm playing a lot of trap mixes, but the crowd really wants more straight hip hop, I can just kind of jump quickly, you know. So I just kind of, you know, but everything is in a format where they go together, but I can switch around if I need to jump to these different crates. So you want to be able to like move fast. That's the thing. That's why a lot of, you know, people still use Serato, a lot of open format DJs rather than the USB sticks, because you can't like, you know, scroll through too fast. Right.
And like, do you have, you know, going back to the Dr. Lil Jon or Judge Lil Jon, what's like, do you have any etiquette advice for like DJs
don't burn a motherfucker.
Okay.
Stop burning motherfuckers. I was notorious for getting on the mic and cursing a motherfucker out when they burnt me, because that's the worst shit. The DJ school I came up in is we don't play the same. We don't play records more than once a night between one DJ. I know DJs used to play in their set the same song 2-3 times in their set, and I try to talk to them. It hurts
me to do that.
Yeah, like it's impossible. And if I go to the club an hour before I got to get on so I can catch a vibe from the crowd, and so I don't duplicate what the motherfucker's playing before me. And so I can catch a vibe. I don't understand how people go in 10 minutes before they set and just supposed to rock. That's impossible. You're not even on the set. You don't even know what kind of crowd you got.
Right.
You only heard the DJ play 3 songs, and you think you know what the crowd is?
Yeah.
So that's just not me. I got to be that hour ahead and vibe. I'm watching. I'm looking at what they're reacting to, what they're not reacting to. I guess I still look at it like I can get fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at it like...
It's true. I say that all the time. I'm like, I feel like I'm odd. The only thing that matters is what's happening that night. Like, I'm auditioning almost every night, even though I've proved myself and I've done it and I've worked with these people forever. That's the same feeling I have.
It's our job to give people an experience that, like, I want to give people New Year's Eve every time I DJ.
Yeah.
You know, that's my job. If I don't create a memory, then I didn't do my job. So that's why I think it's so important, like, for Vegas sets to be over the top, because that is where people are going to go wilder than they would at home. And then when I go to their cities too, I'm doing the same thing. I want to flip the club upside down, because I don't think motherfuckers, in my mind, I don't think nobody can fuck with me, because I'm coming to destroy these motherfuckers. That's my job. I'm not coming to just make my ego feel good. I'm coming to fucking destroy these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm ready for war in this motherfucker. I'm trying to make everybody forget how much money they spent and buy more fucking liquor. That's what Vegas will train you to do too. You know, to make people have so much fun, because that's how we can stay in Vegas is people spending money.
Right. And that's why DJs on Twitch and the streaming translated so good. I talked to some of the people at Twitch, and they're like, some of the DJs with way smaller audience will make way more money and get way more subscribers than a video game streamer with 10 times the audience, because we're almost like we know how to sell a good time and like sell things and get them hyped up and get them to spend money, and it's kind of like our job.
Oh, we got like 5 more minutes. I got to get out of here.
Okay, cool. All right, well, shit. Let's see. 5 more minutes. What should we hit you with?
We got to a lot. We got
Oh, we got so much shit. I mean, like I said in the beginning, like you've had such an iconic long career that we could talk for like 24 hours and we wouldn't even hit everything. So there's I did let's see what else. I did ask people on the internet to ask you questions. I got quite a lot, so I don't know if we would even be able to get through them. But
well, we answered some of the questions though.
We did. So let me see if there's any special ones. Okay, cool. All right, I got UPS guys showing me things out my window.
Yeah, see, you got the same shit going on. I got a lot going on today.
You got cars being delivered, and I got my wife's interior design rugs getting dropped off.
All right.
I can send you a picture of it so you could use for your HGTV show. Oh man, there's so many fucking questions. These are gonna be longer than 5 minutes. I mean, we got through a lot of it, like we said. I'm seeing if there's any. I mean, people are asking if you could narrate a sleep story soon, or
what?
A lot of people asking for drops. Obviously, how do you DJ? How do you deal with that? Just DJs constantly asking you for drops.
I take. Sometime I'll just be like, I'll just knock them out. It depends.
Right.
I got a lot going on right now, but
yeah, I know.
I will just knock it out. I will just knock them out.
Actually, you know what's funny is that this is our 100th episode, and you have done my intro for 100 episodes without knowing it, because it's the original drop you gave me like 100 years ago. I use it in the beginning, so might need a refresh. Maybe you could do the new drop for the next 100 shows, like today or something.
Oh, well. Oh, I can intro this. I think I need to properly intro the 100th episode. What the fuck is the show called again? I just know it's you.
It's all good. It's called the 20 Podcast.
That's right.
On Beatsource, but it's the 20 Podcast hosted by DJ Spider.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally welcome you to the 100th episode. Yes, 100th episode of the 20 Podcast with DJ Spider, Beatsource representative. Yeah.
Oh God, that was incredible.
Let's get into it.
Yo, that was amazing. One day we'll do a part 2 of an in-person thing where we can vibe out. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on here, taking the time. I know you're busy. Also telling those stories and saying all the nice words about me. I really appreciate it. So thank you, and hopefully I'll see you in Vegas or in Atlanta or in LA or somewhere soon.
Yes, sir, man. All good. We definitely gonna run into each other and keep doing the magazine things.
We got to do a collab on that too. I'll be like,
word.
All right, brother. John. Yo, thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Oh my God, we did it, you guys. 100 episodes in the can. We've been doing this for 2 years. Huge thank you to Lil Jon for coming on the show. Legend of legends. I am so happy we were able to make this episode happen. You guys got to hear all the incredible stories, all the great insight, all the amazing things. And I mean, we didn't even get to all of it. So one day we are definitely doing a part 2 in person. But thank you guys. Thank you to the Beat Sorcerers. Thank you to Beatsource. Thank you to DJ City, the entire team, the entire family. Thank you to Vlatz, Anthony, Phenom, Quickie, Jonas, Rob, everybody, Styles, everyone associated. We couldn't be doing this without you, and we really couldn't be doing this without you guys, the Beat Sorcerers. So thank you for tuning in week after week. This is just the beginning. We're only going up from here. We got some crazy guests planned out. So thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week on the 101st episode of the 20 podcast. It's only the beginning. The 20 podcast is produced by Beatsource. Join us next week for more interviews as we discuss music that matters to DJs. I am DJ Spider, signing off. Peace.